The Principles of Creation by Dr. Myles Munroe. Hello everyone, if you're here, it means you like Dr. Myles Munroe. Our job here is to share simple messages. Today, we are talking about his message on the topic, the principles of creation. The principles that God used to create are very important as they explain why many of the occurrences on the earth are the way they are. They also explain why creation functions as it does, and this involves you and I because we are part of creation. Many of the questions you keep asking yourself have their answer locked up in the principles of creation. Creation is the act of making something out of nothing. When you have a raw material, it is known as production. There is a difference between making and creating. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and everything in it. Everything man does stems from something because we do not have the power to create. After God created the heaven and the earth, the Bible tells us that the earth was without form and was void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Formlessness talks of disorder. The first problem after creation was disorder, the second was confusion, and the third was darkness. These three problems are not products of God's action. We know this because the Bible tells us God does all things decently and in order. This is to tell us that any time there is confusion and disorder, God is not involved. There should be another factor making it happen. God is light, and in him there is no darkness. Darkness here means ignorance. This means wherever God is, there is knowledge and revelation. That is why you can see in the next verses that he began arranging the earth and said it was good. All he does is good and has a purpose. He created birds with the purpose to fly and fish with the purpose to swim. A bird doesn't need to go to flight school to know how to fly, neither does a fish need to learn from an external source to swim. It just happens naturally from within them. It happens that way because God created them with the ability to do it. God created every human being with the ability to do the things he was created to do. He created Lucifer in heaven and built in him the musical instruments. Everything God created has a purpose, and he put into it the ability to fulfill that purpose at creation. It is not something you have to find on your own. All you need to do is use it. Lucifer was the angel in charge of music and worship in heaven, and when he fell to the earth after his rebellion and defeat, he made the earth without form. He was fired when he became incompetent, so there was a vacancy. God needed another person to fill that spot, and that is where and why he created man. So that he could fill that spot and be a true worshiper unto him. God made day and night, and it is different in different parts of the earth. At every time, there is someone somewhere worshiping God, because while it is time for you to sleep here, there is another person in some other country who is waking up because it is daytime to him or her. He wants that vacancy filled all the time. The words God said are important because that is what he used to restore the earth. It explains the power of his work and defines the pre-existence of Jesus. In the book of John chapter 1, Jesus is introduced as the Word. It says, in the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and without him, nothing was created that was created. God had a thought in his mind. Although is just an unexpressed word. Which means Jesus was in the mind of God. That is the pre-existence of the Word. The Bible tells us, as a man thinketh, so is he. And as a man speaketh, so he becomes. It means thoughts of life. Jesus was already living in the mind of God. That is why God warns us about the way we should use our tongues. Because it has power to create through words. We should be just like God, using our words to bring out the best. When you do something, you should be the first to tell yourself that it is good, just as God did. God had no one to criticize his work, so he did it himself. You should not only wait to have an encouraging entourage before you handle a positive approach of life. Speak what you want to see and bring it to life. The positivity in your thoughts only come alive when you speak them out. Words which are still in your head do not have much impact on the happenings in your life, because you can still take them back and change them. But words already spoken are much more difficult to handle, because once out, you cannot take it back. The principle of creation is trapped in words. As much as God had a plan to create and all he had to do was speak and everything comes to life, he also knew there was a progression to take. An order to follow. Perfect creation comes with order. Imagine God created man and the beasts of the earth on the first day before the heavens and the earth. Where would they have lived? That would have been total disorder. Order is one of the principles God applied in creation. Anywhere there is disorder, it is a clear indication that God is absent. Thank you for watching. We hope you've been blessed by this video. If you felt encouraged, please share with others who might equally find it encouraging. And also subscribe for regular updates.